it's always a time I enjoy visiting MikeDolbear.com around NAMM, because I look forward to seeing the videos that you make looking around the equipment. Obviously I don't go to NAMM every year, but I'm still a gearhead and I still want to see what all the new stuff is. Not only the companies that I play, I want to see what everyone's doing. And it's a time that I always go to the site because I want to see the NAMM reports coming up and I want to check them and see what's going on.
Do you ever check out the forum?
I do read the forum sometimes. I've dabbled a little bit. I've made a couple of times I've joined in, but I started off just doing. If I get involved in too many things at once, then I kind of feel bad that I'm not giving it enough attention. And as you get older, somehow you have less and less and less free time. And and I start thinking, well, I've got Facebook. The band have got Twitter. We've got PorcupineTree.com. There's MySpace. There's the various drum forums that I look at. Sometimes I contribute to. It's kind of mind-boggling how the internet's just kind of getting bigger and bigger, and you can spread yourself too thin if you just kind of dilute it. But I always think of your site as the sort of British site, like the British forum, and then obviously there's a lot of British guys on there, and they're talking about clinics in England that you're not going to see on other sites because they feel like they're based in Los Angeles or they feel like they're based in Switzerland or something. Even though the guys who visit them could be from anywhere around the world, it's always felt like quite a British site, and I like that.
Do you get when you see anything about yourself? Do you follow? Do you read that, or do you just not look at that topic? And if you do read it, do you get offended or upset, or find you need to defend yourself?
No, very little of it has ever offended me. Funny enough, the only real kind of pounding I ever get is on the Porcupine Tree forum,
right?
Where they kind of constantly want to criticise the band. They constantly want to, and these are the guys who profess to be, our biggest fans. But they'll start threads about what's the worst song Porcupine Tree have ever done. What's the worst gig they've ever done? Endless things about Gavin versus Chris, the previous drummer. Yeah. And funny enough, I was talking to Simon Phillips about it, and I said, do you get this, you must get this thing about, he said, we get this thing comparing me to Jeff. Yeah. What's the point? Simon Phillips is unbelievably brilliant drummer, and so is Jeff Porcaro. They're two of the world's greatest drummers. Why on earth you want to compare them?
Do you find, though, recently on the forum, there was a topic about the new Porcupine Tree album on the MikeDolbear.com, and they were saying how it's different to, obviously, the last one. I mean, obviously this is art, and it's got to change all the time. Do you think the guys take any notice of that, or do you just feel that you need to just do what you do? And
we've got to do what I do. I know it's happened in the past when we've been talking about set lists, and someone said, I read on our forum that they hate this song. In fact, but it's nearly always the same 10, 15, 20 people. Yeah. They've been to like 50 Porcupine Tree gigs, and they hate this song and they love this song, and they always want us to play some really old obscure track. Now what we've got to remember is that there's a large percent of the audience might be the first time they've ever seen us, so there may be songs that we know are popular that we may be feeling tired playing, but they've come along, they want to hear them. And the proof is when you announce the song or we start playing the intro, you can feel if they like it or not. If we go out there and play some really odd, obscure, very old B-side, you can just feel there's about 3 guys in the front row are loving it, and everyone else is like, what's this? Yeah. And when you play the songs that are more popular, okay, you can't please everyone. The real hardcore guys are going to say, oh no, they're doing this song for the 85th time. I saw them play this in, It doesn't matter, and at the end of the day, with any kind of art form, you've got to do it for yourself. And if people like it, that's brilliant. If they don't like it, well, that's tough. We win and lose fans on every new album. Usually the old fans say, I hate the new album. If this is the new direction, then count me out. But more people come in and say, I like Porcupine Tree's new album. And so it's a constantly kind of changing fan base. But you can't take too seriously the written word. You know, because I mean we're a similar age, and when you looked at things that were written down, they were in books at school, and you think the written word is more important than the kind of verbal word.
Yeah.
You think there's some sort of, it's more valid because it's written down. Now when you transpose that to the internet and you see it written down, you think, oh wow, someone really didn't like my drumming. This is serious because it's written down, you know. And I've even got into discussions with people, and they said, you know, I don't like this, I don't like that, and then I find out a little bit more about them, and they're like 13 years old. Now, you know, that's not to say they don't have a valid comment, right? But you know, if Steve Smith says to me, or you know, Jojo Mayer says to me, I like what you did there, I didn't like what you did there. You know, I've got respect for them of what they do, and you know, I know what they do. If I'm going to listen to that a little bit more than some 13-year-old kid who's been playing the drums for 6 months, who thinks I can't play the double bass drum fast enough, that's okay. I don't play the bass drum fast enough for you, but it kind of doesn't matter. You know, if I was sitting in a room with you, I might take what you say with a pinch of salt. But when I don't like the anonymous thing. That's what I don't like about forums.
Yeah.
Is I don't like some guy called, you know, Red Hot Pete 653.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Why don't you use your real name and give me a picture? I might even meet you and I'll go, oh, you're Pete so and so. I saw you on, you know. I don't like people hiding behind anonymous names and kind of coming in with funny comments. You think, well, I don't know who you are, so I don't know how serious to take what you're saying. You might be Quincy Jones. You might be an 11-year-old kid from Norwich. You know, those 2 points are very... Yeah. How I'm going to listen to those 2 points are very different.
You, final thing, because it's important, I think, for us to put this up. There's going to be a MikeDolbear.com clinic tour in the UK with Gavin Harrison this year. The last time you did a proper clinic tour in the UK was
1998.
Okay,
was the last time I did a clinic tour. You know, I've done a couple of one-off clinics here and there, and I've been asked many times. And usually the problem is giving my availability so many months in advance. And when I'm working with Porcupine Tree, that's really hard. I don't want to say yes, I'll do a clinic or a clinic tour 5 months in advance, and then as we get closer. And people have advertised and made posters and done all the stuff, and then our manager says, oh, we've been offered 2 weeks in Japan. I think, oh no, this is going to be terrible. So I'm always very cautious. I get asked a lot, and I normally say, well, to be on the safe side, I'll say no. Now Porcupine Tree are taking around about a year off. I've got, for about the first time in 3 or 4 years, I've actually got a great slot that I know I can do. So, you know, I hope we can get a great clinic tour. I know we'll get a great clinic tour together.
Yeah, we're going to do about 7 dates, and we're going to get to Ireland, Scotland, and obviously the UK, Wales, hopefully, and it's going to be at the end of May.
It'll be at the end of May.
It's on camera.
Yeah, it's on camera now. That's harder than signing a contract.